So it was the Mingara Orchid Fair a couple of weeks ago in the Central Coast in New South Wales, which of course means another orchid haul. So today I'm going to show you what I got at the fair and also show you around a couple of other things that are currently in bloom as well. So I've kind of grouped most of these into what sort of type of orchid they are. So I'm going to start you off with some Encyclias, the first of which is currently in bloom. And this is Encyclia cordigera semi-alba. Just give you a bit of a close-up. There you go. So this one, I do actually already have Encyclia cordigera or cordigera, however you're meant to pronounce it. But this particular form is my husband's favorite color form, and he managed to spot it, and I was sort of like, oh, maybe we don't need it, but then he grabbed it anyway, and I'm very happy that he picked this one up. We were complimented on it and everyone was asking where we got it from, which stall at the fair. And this one is from M&S Orchids, which are growers up in Queensland. So thank you to them because it is beautiful, and I think there were only 2 for sale on the day as well. So we were pretty lucky. I'm glad that he did actually grab this one because it's very nice. It is also fragrant as well, and I can liken it most to probably roses, what roses smell like. So it's a very sweet, soft scent. Not necessarily soft, it's quite strong, but like you can smell it across the room. But it's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. And what makes it semi-alba is that the lip is white and has a little streak of magenta on it. I'll put some photos in of what our normal cordigera form looks like as well. But this one is just beautiful. I think the shape of the petals is slightly different as well. They're more sort of like curved over, like folded, like a little doggy ear. But yes, this one is a new favorite. Starting to get more sort of into Encyclias. I really like them, and so far so good with caring for them in my climate. A lot of them are intermediate to warm growers, so I do mostly have them outside when the weather's warmer, but this one, mainly because it's in flower, is currently inside. All the other Encyclias, including this next one that I'm going to show you, I've had outside since I brought it home because it is not in flower. This little cutie is Encyclia guatemalensis, which is another species Encyclia. I'm obsessed with the Encyclias, how they have these cute little bulbs that are really shiny. Hopefully you can see that. They're super shiny, and like I just want to like pat them. They're really like shiny and slippery and cute. Anyway, you can sort of see there's a photo of what the flower is meant to look like on there. Hopefully it's not too reflective, but it is kind of similar to that cordigera I just showed you, except the petals are more flat, and the labellum is a really cool shape. Hopefully you can see that. It's got like an interesting little shape to it with a little bit of purple or something that looks like, and the flowers are kind of burgundy with sort of a yellow center. So yes, very nice, but I really like collecting the species orchids as well, particularly the species, well, all species orchids, but the species Encyclias are somewhat hard to come by. Not too difficult if you're going to like orchid shows and things, but online I haven't been able to get my hands on too many, and they're not super readily available as opposed to something like Phalaenopsis or Cymbidiums or Dendrobiums. They're a little bit more scarce, but this particular one is from Kingfisher Orchid Nursery, and he's been doing a lot of crosses and things like that. We also from him got this cross, which is Epicatlia, I believe, EPC, Rene Marquez Flamethrower, cross Encyclia cordigera. So a lot of cordigeras going on, but that little photo is a cross. So the top one is the, oh my gosh, come on. So the top one is Flamethrower and the bottom one is the normal form cordigera. But this one's leaves are like purple. Hopefully you can see that. Really nice, really dark purple, tiny like green to purple sort of gradient, which is really nice. We did have the Rene Marquez Flamethrower. We got like a $2 dying seedling from a nursery, but it ended up dying, we couldn't save it. But apparently that particular type of orchid is quite dominant in any crosses, so hopefully this one will be more dominant with that, and have a little bit of the Cordigera in there somewhere as well. But very excited about this little cross. Okay, next type of orchid I have overarching heading is Catasetum type orchids. This first one is from Alice's Orchids. It's Catasetum Orchid Glade Davy Ranches. It does have a flower spike as well, which is very exciting. So hopefully it does properly develop and will bloom for us. It only has 3 little buds on there though, so not too many, and it is going dormant, as you can see from this leaf. Haven't been watering it because it looks like it is going dormant, and the bulb is still quite plump. But as I discovered with a couple of my other Catasetum orchids, if they do have a spike and they're shriveling up quite quickly, the bulb is shriveling, you can actually soak them in water for a few hours or even overnight, and it will just help them to plump up, as long as they're not already, I mean, if they're fully in dormancy, you might be able to as well. I'm not sure. It's a bit of trial and error with Catasetums, so put a comment down below if you know if you can still soak them if they're in full dormancy. I don't think you can, but look, I haven't tried it, so let me know if you know. Yes, so this one did come with a little photo. This is roughly what the flowers will sort of look like. So these ones in this photo are kind of pink and yellow with a bit of orange in the labellum and a tiny little bit of white as well. But yes, very nice. I think the colour can vary quite a bit, but I'm very keen to see that one flower, so I'll update you when it's in flower. I have been filming a Catasetum video. Every couple of months I do a little update for you, and I'm going to mesh it into one video so that you can see my first full year pretty much of Catasetum care. It's because I'm new to Catasetums, it's just sort of what I'm finding is working and not working along the way, so hopefully that's interesting to some of you, but I am still an amateur grower, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. This one is another Catasetum type, but it is a Cycnoches, Baker's Paradise Maple Syrup crossed with Cycnoches Cooperide Dark Chocolate. Very keen for this one. My husband's been really set on trying to find some Cycnoches orchids because the flowers are known to last a little bit longer than Catasetums as well. So very keen, and they just have a really cool shape. So hopefully that one grows a new bulb when it comes out of dormancy. I mean, it's not dormant yet, so we have still been watering it roughly about once a week or so. But yes, hopefully this one does well and we can see some flowers in the next year or so. Now I've got a couple of different random types of orchids for you. So the first one is, I've got another Sarcochilus. This is Sarcochilus Toowomba Sparkle Coconut Ice. It's still quite little seedling, but beautiful flowers. They're like pink and white flowers, mostly pendant, but it's a Sarcochilus crossed with a Rhincostylus, which makes it a Sarcochilus. So this one has been living outside because of the Sarcochilus in it. I generally find they're quite cold tolerant as long as they're not really cold and wet for a long time. But yeah, it'll probably take, I don't know, it depends if it takes more after the Sarcochilus or the Rhincostylus. Rhincostylus are quite slow growing, so we'll see. We don't know how long it will take to flower, but I've got this little one as part of the collection now. And then, so that's from King's Nursery, and this is also from King's Nursery as well. I just picked up another Dendrobium, which was in flower. I'll insert some clips. I did take some videos of this one when we first brought it home in case the flowers didn't last long. This is Dendrobium Candy, and the variety is Morwell. So you can see quite tall canes on this one, hard cane Dendrobium, but beautiful purple and white flowers that are quite large and quite open. So yes, in love with this one, another addition. You can't have enough Dendrobiums, I just love them, and they're also different, and the King's Nursery ones are particularly good quality, so can recommend. I have also been recently getting into Bulbophyllums or Bulbophyllums, however you say it. I will show you a couple in a minute that were recently in flower because I never used to really find them that interesting, but all of a sudden I'm really fascinated by them. So I picked up another one, and this is a species Bulbophyllum that is Bulbophyllum Lobii Red. It has very cute little bulbs, or big bulbs actually, quite plump bulbs. And you can see it's sort of like a creeper. It wants to be in a shallow pot, kept moist all of the time. So it's in, I haven't repotted it yet. It's in sphagnum moss. There's a few like styrofoam pieces in there. I don't know if you can see. And some perlite, a couple of smallish pieces of bark, but really not that much bark. It's mainly sphagnum, perlite and styrofoam. So it seems happy in that mesh pot for now, but as you can see, its new growth is sort of leaving the pot. So I'll probably have to repot it at some stage in the near future. But yes, this one has, obviously the variety is red. It has quite red flowers. And I just looked up as well because I had to check. It thrives in intermediate to warm conditions with bright indirect light. So I've currently had it inside on the shelves behind me, just back here. But I'll probably move it outside when the weather's warm, and just it would probably be one of the ones I water almost every day in the warm months, or if not every day. It likes bright indirect light, so similar light to Phalaenopsis, but I believe if you give it a little bit more light, not direct sun, but brighter light can encourage it to bloom more frequently. And this is also one of the bulbophyllums that has the little hinged lip. I don't know if you've ever seen that. If you touch the labellum, it is like on a little hinge. I don't know, I find that cool and fun, but you never know, everyone's different. But if you like that sort of thing, I would recommend this. Not that I've had it bloom yet, but I'll show you when it's in flower. I also picked up this little guy, which did have a flower, but he has faded now. I'll show you some photos though that we took at the time. It is Sarcochilus Falcatus Dorigo crossed with Sarcochilus Australis Campbelltown. So another little cool Sarcochilus hybrid. But really cute little dainty white flowers. It had a really nice sweet scent as well from memory, but I can't quite remember. Yes, it only had one flower when we bought it, so yeah. But I'll probably repot it from this. I find the little small sarcs don't really do well for me in this particular arrangement, which is like the half pot with bark, perlite, and then on like a little wood board. I find the Sarcochilus do a lot better for me in my conditions if they're just mounted with a little bit of sphagnum moss, or if they're in a pot. But these hybrids I find do better mounted. And I'll probably mount it upside down so that it can grow in the direction that it wants to grow rather than up this way, if that makes sense. So yeah, little cute one. And last but not least, this one is actually not for my own collection. We actually purchased it for some family members, but I'll show you it anyway because it was part of the haul on the same day. This is a swamp orchid. I don't really know how you say it, but Phaius Australis Topaz tiger, I believe you would say. So these guys are native to Queensland. This particular orchid is native to Queensland and northeastern New South Wales. It's most commonly found in coastal swampy areas and wet forests. And it is a terrestrial orchid, which I believe that means you can grow it in the ground as well. So yes, they do get quite large. I'm not sure about this form in particular, but just sort of something interesting that I thought I'd show you. I don't have one in my collection, but maybe we'll see how this one goes with our family members, and if it goes well, then maybe we'll get one too. But yes, that's that little guy.
Yeah, the one with a massive long spike, but they're really pretty.
Oh gosh, Schomburgkia.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good price though, $20. Every time I've seen them come up, they've been little seedlings, no bigger than that Sarcochilus,
for
like $80 on eBay.
Tempting. Okay, so that's sort of it for the orchid haul part of the video, but I have a few things to show you that are in bloom at the moment that I didn't want you to miss out on. The first one, you've seen it before, but it's now in its most spectacular bloom show that we have ever seen. This is Dendrobium hildepoxen. Oh my goodness, the amount of flowers on this thing at the moment and spikes is insane. It looks so good. They have lasted, like the actual flowers have lasted longer than previous blooms this time. It might be because it's been outside and the weather's been quite cold, so maybe that helps the flowers to last a little bit longer, but whoa. And this is what, like the fifth, maybe fourth, fifth, sixth time it's bloomed this year. Like it just keeps producing spikes, but it stopped for about a month. Then all of these spikes started coming up and they've all opened basically at the same time. So extremely happy with this. Yes, can definitely recommend. If you don't have a Hilda-poxin, definitely get one because they do really well, particularly if you're around the Sydney area in this sort of climate. They love it. So I might actually now just flip the camera around and walk you around to show you some things that are in flower, just because it might be a little bit easier. Okay, hopefully you can see this. I did actually just film a video on my 2 Rhynchostylis gigantea that you can see here. This is Rhynchostylis gigantea alba, and this was meant to be cartoon, but it seems to have been a little mistake, and it is Rhynchostylis gigantea red, but I still love it. It's still super beautiful. I'm very happy with the blooms and they look so cute sitting there together. So yes, there's those 2. This is still in bloom as well. This is a very difficult one to sort of show you, but this is Dendrobium magnum, I believe it's called, or latifolia. Oh, super nice, but it smells, it's got a fragrance like honey, so it's very, very beautiful. It's currently inside. Normally it lives outside along with Cobbianum as well. Cobbianum was in flower but has since finished fairly recently, so they need to go back outside soon, as they like to sort of stay quite moist and in cooler, slightly cooler climates, so they don't really love being in here with the heater on, but I wanted to have them in here to enjoy the flowers more while they were open. I also have a couple of Phalaenopsis that are starting to open. It is still a little bit early for some of them to open, but my little mini mark is in flower again. Whoops, I'll try and, there you go. It's super cute. I just love this one with its little orange lip and its little spotted petals. It's super cute. One of my favorite Phalaenopsis. The only other Phalaenopsis that's open at the moment is this little white supermarket boy that's open, but it has so many buds, like all down here. They're all branching. There's another spike on the other side and there's another phal behind it, but I'm very excited when this one properly opens. It's going to look super nice. Okay, I've also just gotten this one down as well because this was hanging up on the window behind me, but this is my Vanda lamellata. It's super cute. It's in full bloom. They are starting to fade at the top, as you can see, but they are quite a lot more yellow than the first time it bloomed, so that's interesting. I don't know why, but they're like, almost remind me of like a golden gaytime ice cream with the yellow and the brown, and then they've got a little bit of pink in there as well, but very happy with this one. It's been open for probably about a month, if not a little bit longer now, so they do last quite a while, and I just love it. It has got such nice leaves. You can't really tell in this light, but they're quite shiny as well, so very much love this orchid. Okay, we're outside now. It's a little bit of a mess with some leaves and things, so don't mind that. But I just want to point out, Encyclia cochleata alba, still blooming, still blooming. This thing is amazing. So that has been blooming since like the start of the year, so almost 6 months. 6 months? 6 months. This is a bit faded, but you can probably see this Wilsonara tan treasures, lavender picote, is also a really reliable flowerer. Has a couple of tiny spikes, but every now and then it puts out a monster of a spike that is just amazing. And I have one Cymbidium in flower at the moment. These are one of the Cymbidiums I got from my late grandfather, and I just love it. It's just such a nice colour. It's like a greeny brown with a pink and yellow lip. Really, really nice. So very happy with this one, but sadly all of my other Cymbidiums haven't actually flowered this year, so they have been a little bit neglected. Like, they don't get too much light because I kind of shove most of them down there on those shelves. There's one like behind this Sologeny, but this one obviously is happy in its position. It probably gets the most light out of all of them coming this way, but yes, very pleased. Nice to just at least have one Cymbidium in flower. Okay, back inside now. There's only one more that I wanted to show you guys, which is this really cute Bulbophyllum that is called Bulbophyllum purpurascens, which has flowered quite a few times. It had, I mean, well, once, but like has had a lot of different flower spikes. I didn't explain that very well. But it doesn't last very long when it opens. So we've got one more spike that's about to open pretty soon that you can see down the bottom there. But I'll insert some clips now for you of when it was in flower. This is definitely one of my new favorite orchids. It's super cute. The flowers open like a little skirt and they sort of flare out, and they're like a yellowy white color, very dainty. And one bulb, like one single bulb, has had about 3 flowers on it. So you can tell when this gets a lot bigger, it's going to be quite a show with all these little tiny flared out little flowers. But really, really like this one. It does like to be kept quite moist a lot of the time. Probably do need to water it. I've been watering it every couple of days, like between every 2 to 4 days roughly. But it is mounted and it's got some moss on there to help sort of keep it a little bit more water retentive. But would definitely recommend this Bulbophyllum if you're looking for some interesting little ones to add to your collection. Alrighty, well thank you so much for watching again, guys. Please give me a like and press subscribe if you would like to see more of my orchid content. Pop a nice comment down below if you'd like to, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!